So just want to welcome everybody again for joining us for this exploration of mindfulness meditation, trying to find ways to live with more ease, a little more sanity in this crazy world that we live in. So we explore a lot of different techniques, and what I'd like to explore today, and we'll start out doing a little bit of mindful movement as part of our grounding meditation. So it may feel a little bit different than the way we start some of the sessions, but just kind of go with the flow here. We'll do a little exploration. My yoga teacher would talk about having joyful investigative curiosity. So I just offer that as the invitation for how we'll practice today, a little bit of curiosity, investigation, a relationship between the mind and the body, and also some lightness to it too. Sometimes meditation can feel really heavy, and this is a way to invite a little bit of, with the curiosity can come with a little bit lighter practice. So we'll start with the grounding meditation. You can take your usual posture, whatever that is, sitting, lying down, standing. And you may want to have your eyes closed through this, as you always do, but if we're going to be doing some movement, and if any time you feel like you just would feel better about having your eyes open, go with that. Just go with whatever feels comfortable. This is the exploration to find out how we can be comfortable with this mind and body. So I'll just do the transition. So take your meditation seat, whatever that looks like today, sitting, standing, lying down. We'll let the bell transition us. So this process of arriving, of getting here, of getting settled in here on the Zoom sessions, just checking in with this mind and this body. How is it right now? So we can notice what the mood of the mind is, if it's still kind of doing whatever it was before you logged on, or maybe it's going to sleep. Is it restless? Is it calm? We don't judge any of this. We just notice how it is right now in this mind, right here. Maybe we'll notice that maybe even just in the relative quiet, it starts to settle a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe it gets more active. Just noticing the mind. It's like this. And then checking in with the body, just an overall sense of the body. Is it relaxed? Is it agitated? Is it low energy? Just calm and steady. We don't judge. We just notice it's like this. The body is like this. And in this meditation, I just invite an exploration of how the mind and the body change as we do various body awareness and movement invitations in the instructions that I'll give in this meditation. So the intention is just to be aware of how the mood of the mind, the energy of the mind, the energy of the body change as we practice these various things. So we can start, as we commonly do, with grounding. So this sense of grounding, we talk about it quite frequently, this sense of feeling supported by the floor, by the chair, whatever it is that the body is resting on. Just really feeling that support and letting the weight of the body engage with whatever it's being supported by. Really bringing the awareness to that sense of support, of grounding, of resting in this full support. So this sense of support, rest, body not having to work to hold itself up 100%. It's being supported by the ground. there. And notice how that feels in the body. Can the body relax into this support, or is there a sense of pressure or tension? And how's the mind resting in the body that's resting on its support? So really just being aware of this body, being supported, nowhere to go, nothing to do, nothing to do, just being right here. Grounded in the support. And noticing how that is in the body, in the mood of the mind. Maybe we notice that it feels comfortable and easy. Maybe we notice some restlessness. Whatever it is, it's just like this. Then we can shift the awareness from the sense of groundedness, of being resting, supported. Soften and widen the attention and invite the mind to notice spaciousness. So from this grounded base, we can maybe feel a sense of uprightness of the spine, an opening of the chest or relaxation of the shoulders back and down, inviting an upward movement, a widening, a softening, a sense of spaciousness of the body, of the mind. So this is the mind inviting space, opening, softening, inviting the spine to move upwards and open, the arms to relax, the chest to open, shoulders down. Just noticing a sense of space. Noticing how that feels in the mind and the body. Does it feel light? Or does the spaciousness feel ungrounded and uncomfortable? And there's no right or wrong in any of this. And you could even alternate between noticing the ground, noticing the support, and then noticing the ability to open, be upright, in a sense of spaciousness from that place of grounding. So both are actually present. And where can the mind and body feel more ease? Is it in that support, or is it in the openness? There's no right or wrong answer. We can just notice how it is. So inviting space, soften, widen the mind, the awareness of the body. If you want to increase a sense of spaciousness, you could even open the arms, extend them out, take the fingertips out to the side, inviting more space. If that helps to open the chest, just noticing what the effect is of that, if you're so inclined. Otherwise, just resting in that sense of openness, the spine of the chest. Spaces like this. The next exploration is to invite the mind to notice a sense of rhythm or movement in the body. And probably the most obvious is in the breath, right? You can feel the in-breath, the out-breath. Just noticing there's a rhythm to that. And feeling the energy of the breath, receiving on the inhalation, letting go on the exhalation. And feeling the rhythm of that. This movement, yet the comfort maybe of a regular pattern of the in and out breath. And you can notice where you do feel this sense of breathing in the body. How do you know that you're inhaling? How do you know that you're exhaling? How does that feel in the body? Tuning into that, this rhythm of in and out, in and out. Letting the mind rest on that rhythm. And you can notice how the mind and the body feel when we're investigating rhythm. Is there a comfort in this rhythmic process of breathing in, breathing out? Or maybe there's some tension in the breath and it doesn't feel comfortable. We can notice that too. So how is it right now? Awareness of breathing, the rhythm of the breath is like this. This is how the mind and body experience it. You can notice if it brings ease or brings tension. And you can even exaggerate this rhythm, with the in and out breath, really inviting, receiving, just a fullness of breath, and then a real relaxation on the out breath. And if you do exaggerate it, notice what the effect is of that exaggeration on the mind and on the body. Maybe a deeper inhalation and exhalation feel more invigorating, or maybe it feels stressful. How is it? The rhythm of the breath. Is like this. In the mind and the body. And then we can let go of that attention to the rhythm. And just come back to awareness of the body as a whole. And exploring if there's any sense of balance, steadiness, ease in the body. This body just at rest. No effort being made. If there's a sense of ease and relaxation, of balance, not moving, you're not feeling agitated. Is there any sense of centeredness, of balance in this body? So noticing if there is balance. And if it doesn't feel balanced, if things feel out of whack, you can notice that too. Something feels off, there's tension somewhere, you can notice that. And whatever you're noticing in the body, what's the resulting effect on the mind? The mind investigating balance, what is it finding? And what's the effect on the body and the mind? So these four ways that we can experience the body: the sense of groundedness, of being supported, the sense of spaciousness or openness, the rhythm of the breath or the body in motion, and just a sense of balance or ease. These are four aspects that we can notice when we pay attention to them, what the effect is on the body and on the mind. This is how it is right now. This may change next time we check it out, but we do this to learn how the mind relates to the body, this sense of embodiedness, to get to know ourselves better, this what allows the mind and body to be at ease when it's in tension. This is part of the exploration, to get to know ourselves. This is our practice, this invitation. So the bell is inviting us to come back, bring the awareness back to the surface. Maybe just taking a moment to reflect on maybe something you observed where the body felt most relaxed or the mind felt most relaxed. Or notice if there was confusion, like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be feeling. What is this all about? Just notice what your experience was, what felt beneficial. And then letting that go, opening the eyes if they were closed, and just coming back to awareness of the screen again. So these four ways of the mind observing its embodiedness in the body. Those of you who are yogi practitioners with mind-body solutions probably have heard these concepts before. We use them in the yoga practice at Mind-Body Solutions. But it's also a way of practicing meditation too. We can notice how these different aspects of being embodied, how they bring the awareness to them, how it affects how our mind and body are. If we're feeling really scattered, it may be that, if we're feeling like we're being thrown around by the world, bringing a sense of groundedness allows us to feel like, oh yeah, there is some place, I can rest and feel the firmness of the grounding, if we're being pushed around. Or if things are feeling really heavy, if we're depressed, or if the world just feels really, really heavy, inviting spaciousness, how does that feel in the mind and the body when the mind just opens to the possibility of spaciousness and the body lifts and opens? What does that do to the mood of the mind? Does that take away some of the heaviness of our mood? The sense of rhythm, people experience it differently. Sometimes the rhythm can be really comforting, like, a sense of like when the ocean is just rocking back and forth or rocking the cradle. This movement of rhythm can be really comforting sometimes, but sometimes it can feel really agitated, too much movement. I don't need that kind of movement right now. Or the sense of balance, like if we feel like we're really getting pushed around, this is similar to groundedness, but it's just like, where is the ease? Where is a sense of centeredness rather than like a grounded weight? Where is there any place of centeredness where the mind can rest in the body? And so this exploration, if we do it routinely and start to notice what the effect is on the mind and the body, this is good practice for a number of reasons. One, taking refuge in awareness of the body, I find always to be helpful, because where do we spend most of our time? We're thinking, right? And we're in our head and we're thinking. And through this kind of practice, we're using the thinking mind, the inviting mind, the curious mind to do something other than plan or remember or be stressed out or be depressed or whatever, and really come into this sense of embodiedness. So it's a way of using this cognitive ability, this awareness ability of the mind, but bringing it into the body itself, and then really noticing how that affects our experience. So it's a good antidote for overthinking using this kind of embodied practice. And also, once we start to practice in this way and we notice what the effect is on the mind and body, when we're stressed out, we can actually intentionally invite, if we, as I was describing a bit ago, if we're feeling stressed out and weighed down, can I invite spaciousness, or can I invite kind of the more playful movement of rhythm, whatever that experience was for you? We can use it as an antidote to the stress that we may be feeling, whatever it is, whether it's heaviness or scatteredness or whatever. We can play with, is there something else that I can invite, a sensation in the body that will help to counteract whatever the body and the mind are experiencing? So that's why I do this practice a lot, I have to say, because, like I said, it gets me out of my thinking mind, and also the mind is embodied. It is contained within the body, and so how these two are communicating to each other is really important to understand ourselves, and to know we can bring ease or refuge to ourselves. And so one of my teachers actually calls this, the 4 refuges, a place of safety that we can invite for ourselves through this practice. So that's what we're exploring here today. We did it in that grounding meditation. And so we're going to do a little bit longer meditation now. And I invite you to just keep exploring this, how these different sensations in the body. We'll do our usual meditation of choosing an object, staying with it. But then we know the mind's going to go off someplace, and it's going to take us someplace. Maybe it feels heavy, maybe it feels spacey. And then we can ask ourselves, what might be helpful to invite to help decrease whatever tension the mind is creating for itself through thinking. So that's the basic process we'll be exploring in this meditation. So I invite you to take your seat again. The centeredness of your meditation seat, feeling the support of your chair or whatever you're resting on, the ground. Letting all those words go, all that theory go, and just coming back into this direct experience. That's what it's all about. This is life, this direct experience. Closing the eyes if you're comfortable. We'll let the bell transition us. With the fading of the sound of the bell, bring the awareness inwards. Just check in again. How is the mind? What's the mood of the mind now? What's the mood of the body? We don't judge. We just notice it's like this. And then we set the intention in this meditation period to choose an object. Most of us have been doing this for a while. We can choose awareness of the body, someplace specific, or we can choose breath awareness, the sense of the body breathing, or moment-to-moment experience, whatever. Just choosing what you intend to pay attention to and letting the mind rest there. Just an object that we can rest in the awareness of the body or the breath. In this moment-to-moment experience, setting the attention to stay with that object, knowing the mind's going to go off and do its own thing, and then we can see what happens. But for now, we're setting this intention to be with our meditation object. And if you don't have one, just choose the breath. Breathing in is like this, breathing out is like this. If the attention wanders off, bring it back to the meditation object, reestablishing awareness of our meditation object. You check in to notice what the mind's paying attention to. Is it still with this moment to moment awareness of the meditation object, or has it gone off thinking, planning, remembering, sleeping? What's the mind doing? And how does that feel in the mind and in the body, whatever the mind is doing? We don't judge it, we just notice it. Notice the effect of wherever the mind is, and then reestablish our intention to be with our meditation object, the body or the breath or whatever. Intention to stay aware moment to moment of this experience with our meditation object. Noticing again what the mind's paying attention to. What's the mood or the energy of the mind? How's the body feel? So we just notice how it is. If the mind is feeling sleepy or groggy, what might be helpful to make it more alert? Maybe paying attention to the rhythm of the breath, this in and out, the details of the rhythm and rhythmic movement in and out might bring some alertness, or maybe a sense of groundedness if we're feeling sleepy, to really feel that support. Or if the mind's scattered, running around, chasing after stuff, can we ground in this sense of the body right here, right now? Or if things feel heavy, can we invite spaciousness? So what's the mood of the mind, the body? Is it comfortable? If it is, just stay with it. If it feels stressful, is there something we can invite to explore how to bring ease to this mind and this body? This can be a practice, an investigation. So returning back to our meditation object, the breath or the body, whatever it is. Setting the intention to stay with it and notice the effect on the mind and the body as we continue to practice. Noticing how the mind is, how the body is. Is there ease? Or is there some tension? Or some grogginess, something that feels a little off? Is there something we can invite to move that energy, if it's low energy, again, rhythm or grounding? Or if it feels heavy, a spaciousness, we feel like we're being pushed around. Can we notice where there's balance or centeredness in the body? Is anything needed? And if so, what might be helpful to invite into the awareness? And if nothing's needed, we can just stay with our meditation object, noticing the ease of just moment to moment awareness with this body, this breath, whatever our object is. Awareness, ease. Can we invite this? Noticing the mood of the mind, the energy of the mind, the energy in the body. Noticing if there's ease or if something feels off. If there's ease, we can notice how good that feels. If something feels off, we can explore whether something else might be helpful. Maybe no matter what we're doing at this point, we can re-invite the different sensations in the body, that sense of groundedness, that sense of support. So feeling the floor, the furniture, whatever's supporting us, Feeling the relief of that support, taking refuge or rest there. How does that feel in this body, this mind? And from that grounding, we can feel that sense of support allows us to open up into feeling spaciousness with a long spine, inviting the chest to open, the shoulders to relax back and down, softening and widening our awareness, inviting spaciousness. That spaciousness comes from that sense of groundedness. And then there's that sense of rhythm of the breath, the body receiving, letting go, feeling how the mind senses that, how that affects the mood of the mind. And in the middle of all of it, somewhere within this body, there's a sense of balance or ease, centeredness, rest. Where is that for you? Is it in the heart? Is it in the hands, resting on the support, the feet on the floor? Or just a sense of okayness in this body, this mind? This embodied mind we can experience, get to know ourselves better, notice where we can be at ease, moment to moment. Let this be our practice with curiosity and compassion. So the bell invites us to bring the attention back to the surface, noticing whatever you might have noticed during that, what felt helpful, what felt stressful, and then letting that go, and just coming back to being aware of being together here. So whatever your experience was, that maybe you experienced frustration, maybe you experienced a lot of different things that makes you more curious to explore this. But I invite you to play with this. One of the benefits of this for me in my practice is it does allow for some playfulness, like what does happen, when we invite these different moods and sensations into the mind and the body. And we can notice the effect, and we can do this in meditation, and maybe most importantly, as always, we can take it into our everyday life. So when you're sitting in traffic and you can't move because nobody in traffic is moving and you feel closed in, can you invite a sense of spaciousness? Oh yeah, there's still space, within this tension of this being held here in this slow moving traffic, or same with the grocery line or whatever, or where you're feeling scattered by your planning process and 30 million things you have to do. Can you feel the groundedness that allows you to rest in that support, even just for a couple of moments, to give yourself a break? So, play with these different sensations in the mind and the body, and just see what happens.